Welcome to the PPL Repertoire Registration journey of managing repertoire. This is one of a series of tutorial videos produced to help guide you through the Register Repertoire system. Manage Repertoire is a separate area within Register Repertoire that gives you a single point of access to perform a variety of actions against your recordings, releases, and defaults. To get started, go to the Register Repertoire landing page and click on the Manage Repertoire tile. You will be presented with a screen featuring 5 tabs: Recordings, Releases, Defaults, Files, and Exports. You can navigate to each of them by clicking on the relevant icon. Each tab has an overview of the relevant repertoire information you have created and submitted. Let's start with the Recordings tab. This is for filtering, editing, and submitting your repertoire. Here you'll be able to see the recordings that are in progress or already registered. If a recording is in progress, it has not yet been submitted to the repertoire database, or it has been submitted and is being processed. Recordings will typically be processed at the end of each working day. If a recording is registered, it has been successfully loaded into the repertoire database. In addition to this toggling view, there are several filters along the top of the tab that can help you find and edit your desired recordings more easily. Filter by status. Recordings will vary in status depending on their completeness or where they are in the submission journey. Each recording will have a unique status. There will be one of the following. Invalid in-progress recordings are missing certain mandatory information and are not yet ready to be submitted. If you are looking at invalid registered recordings, these have previously been submitted but are missing mandatory information and will need to be edited and resubmitted. Valid in-progress recordings contain all mandatory information and are ready to be submitted. Valid registered recordings contain all mandatory information and are already registered in the repertoire database. Submitted recordings have been recently submitted to the repertoire database. Unfinished recordings have not yet been submitted to the repertoire database. You will need to select these and submit them. Under review recordings have been submitted to the repertoire database and are currently being reviewed by PPL. Unsuccessful submissions are recordings that have been submitted to the repertoire database and have been unsuccessful following a data quality review. The reason for this will be shown in the preview window of the recording. You will need to fix the issue and resubmit the recording. Keep checking your unsuccessful submissions metric on the Register Repertoire landing page to check if any submissions have been unsuccessful following a data quality review. The next filter available is the Filter by Error Type, which can be used to determine which recordings have the same error. If a recording is categorized as invalid, the recording should be edited to make it eligible for submission. To do so, filter recordings by Invalid in the drop-down menu. This will display the invalid recordings. You can do this by using Filter by Error Type, which allows you to filter by common recording, rights holder, or performer error types. Using this filter displays the total number of recordings that have that specific type of error. To edit incorrect or missing information, you can either click on Action, Edit, and navigate to the field in question to edit and complete, or select the recording by ticking the box at the left-hand side, filter on Edit Selected Recording By, and choose the appropriate field before entering the information and clicking Apply. Once you have made these changes, they cannot be undone, and you will see a confirmation message at the top of the screen. You will not be able to submit a recording which is invalid, so you'll need to fix any errors first before being able to successfully submit the recording. Click on Action, Preview next to the recording in question, and a new window showing all of the recording information will be displayed. Scroll down to see where there are errors, highlighted in red, and make a note of them, before closing the window and returning to the Manage Repertoire screen to correct the errors. For more information on the error types, please read the Register Repertoire User Guide. Recordings that meet the mandatory PPL data requirements will be shown as valid and have a green tick. To submit your recordings to PPL's repertoire database, select one or more recordings, Click Submit, and then your options are to submit the recordings selected or submit all of the valid in-progress recordings. You can also delete recordings that have not yet been submitted to the repertoire database by selecting Action and Remove and confirming the deletion. This removes them from the Register Repertoire system and cannot be undone. Let's come back to our already registered recordings. Use this if you want to amend or change recordings already registered in the repertoire database. Toggle the view to Registered. Select the recording that you would like to review, either using the search function at the top or by using the Filter by Status. To correct information on already registered recordings, choose Invalid in the Filter by Status and navigate towards the specific recording. Select the recording and go to Edit Selected Recording By, or navigate to Action and click Edit to go through the recording journey again. Once that has been confirmed, you'll receive a message to say the recording has been updated. When you return to view that recording in Manage Repertoire, you will notice that a second version has been created. Expand this and you'll see how the information has been updated, and the recording will also show as valid. Changes will typically be processed at the end of each working day. The layout and functionality of the Releases tab is very similar to the Recordings tab, and here you can submit, edit, or delete releases you are authorized to manage. Moving to the Defaults tab, this displays all defaults you have previously created. You can view some key information relating to each default, such as the name you've given it, or the date that it was last updated, and you can edit, clone, or delete the default by navigating to Action. Creating and using defaults will save you a lot of time when registering your repertoire, as these will pre-populate fields as part of the registration of recordings and releases. It is always recommended that you complete repertoire, territory, and lineup defaults before registering recordings or releases, or before bulk uploading repertoire, as this will greatly speed up the repertoire registration process. Completing the territory and lineup defaults are particularly important for bulk uploading repertoire, as it is not possible to populate the bulk upload template with line-level territorial rights or performer lineup information. It is also possible to export registered recordings that have been successfully submitted to the repertoire database. You are limited to exporting a maximum of 10,000 recordings at a time. Use the search function to find the recordings that you would like to export. Click on Export, create the file name, click Export Recordings. From here, click on the Exports tab along the top navigation pane. Click on the file name to download the CSV file. Please note that if using non-Microsoft browsers, such as Firefox or Chrome, you will need to right-click and save the link as a CSV to download. Lastly, the Files tab displays all files that have been uploaded and imported into Register Repertoire using the bulk upload functionality. If you want more information on how to register a recording, register your releases, or upload recordings in bulk, please watch these video guides or refer to our user guides, which can be found on My PPL or the Register Repertoire landing page.